The Lost City of Atlantis has captured the imaginations of humankind for literally centuries. And while no trace of the city has ever been found, other ancient civilizations have been discovered, lost and forgotten, at the bottom of the sea. About 4 miles off the coast of Alexandria, Egypt, submerged in the Mediterranean Sea, is the lost kingdom of Cleopatra. In ancient times, the city known as Heraklion to the ancient Greeks and Thonis to the ancient Egyptians served as a gateway to Egypt. Why the city sank remains a mystery, but it was buried in sand and mud, forgotten for more than 1,200 years, only to be rediscovered in the year 2000. By lying untouched and protected by sand on the seafloor for centuries, the artifacts of the city are brilliantly preserved. Many remain largely intact. Amongst the discoveries were the foundations of the palace, 64 shipwrecks, red granite columns, giant 16-foot statues, and a sphinx. Just on the other side of the Mediterranean Sea, in the Bay of Naples, you will find the sunken city of the Caesars. In its heyday, the classical Roman city of Baia was the hedonist Las Vegas of the time. Back in 1st century Rome, the city became synonymous with luxury and wild parties that included a lot of wine and hedonism of the highest possible order. A prominent resort city for centuries, Baia catered to the recreational whims of the rich and powerful among the Roman elite. The city, which was located over natural volcanic vents, was famous for its healing medicinal hot springs, which occurred all around the city and were quite easy to build spas over. Some of history's most powerful figures, such as Nero, Cicero, and Caesar, were known to have visited the city, and a number of them actually built permanent vacation villas there. Despite being a fashionable resort for centuries, Baia would eventually get deserted. Inevitably, much of the city was lost to the sea, as volcanic activity caused the coastline to retreat 400 meters inland. The volcanic activity was caused by the same volcanic vents that were once such a big draw to the area. And by 1500, most of the ancient ruins were drowned under the shallow waters of the bay. In the 1940s, the sunken city was first spotted in an aerial photograph, and during the years that followed, diving explorers discovered huge villas, incredible statues, and stunning mosaics, as well as heated spas, cobbled streets, and even a nymphaeum, a grotto of pleasure. Today, the ancient remains of Baia can be visited in one of the world's few underwater archaeological parks. Visitors can view the crumbled structures and amazingly preserved statuary of the city through glass-bottomed boats, snorkeling, or even scuba dives, which allow people to actually swim amongst the copious ruins. Tucked in a lake between the 5 Lion Mountains lies what was once the center of politics and economics in China's eastern province of Zhejiang. A maze of white temples, memorial arches, paved roads, and houses, now 130 feet underwater, is China's Lion City. In 1959, the Chinese government decided a new hydroelectric power station was required, so they built a man-made lake. The entire area was to be flooded in order to provide enough power and space for the city's hydroelectric project, which meant that many lost their homes. A total of almost 300,000 people faced a forced evacuation during the flooding of Lion City. Families whose ancestors had called the area home for centuries were forced to leave and start over. For decades, Lion City was forgotten underwater, left to sit in silence until its rediscovery in 2001. Many of the structures from Lion City's walls date back to the 16th century. However, the city's first construction dates all the way back to 25 AD, making it unbelievably valuable to the history of Zhejiang. Specific structures have been discovered and noted as belonging to both the Ming and Qing dynasties. When looking at images like these, it's hard not to let your mind wander and imagine what Atlantis might have actually been like, and if we'll ever find a trace of it at the bottom of the sea. If you like this video, follow us on Facebook and like and subscribe on YouTube. And come back soon for more Factables.